Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans. Good morning, NFL fans, to week 2 of the NFL season 2024. Where this week, our Philadelphia Eagles are coming home and playing against the Atlanta Falcons in our season opening here in Philadelphia. I know last week was technically a home game, but nah, that was down in Brazil. This is home. This is the link. Welcome here. Now, before I go into a little bit of analysis, I do have a bet going. Last week I was on the couch. This week, down here in Philly, down by the stadiums. And I have to give a shout out to my buddy Texas Tony, military friend of mine, that I lost week 1 to. We have a bet. Every week we're going to pick something different. End of the season, the loser's going to go visit the winner. So I'm up here in Philly. He's down there in Texas. I hope next February-ish, after my Eagles win the Super Bowl, and I beat him on all the picks for the year, he's going to come here to Philly, and I'm going to show him all the different Philly foods and good stuff we have here to offer in the city. That being said, last week, absolutely got crushed. Picked a couple upsets that did not happen, and didn't pick too smart. So last week, Texas Tony came through. He was 12-4. Last week, I came through at 9-7. So that means by the end of this video, I'm actually supposed to eat this jalapeno. So I don't do too well with hot food, but a bet is a bet, and I'm game. So let me get to my picks, talk a little trash, get a jalapeno, left my water in my Jeep. I'll be back for that. We'll figure that part out. So yes, I do bet a lot of times against the Cowboys, but I need to win. I need to win this. I don't like losing. I'll never pick the Cowboys to beat the Eagles ever, but I might be picking them this week because my first pick already sucks. So Texas Tony and I talked about the Dolphins and Bills. Yes, of course, I picked the Dolphins. He picked the Bills, and the Bills absolutely thrashed them. Let me go through my other picks, and you'll see how it all pans out. I'm going to go 49ers, Pats, Commanders, Chargers, Cowboys. Yes, I'm actually picking them. The Pack, Jacksonville, Titans, Bucks, Ravens, Rams, Chiefs, Broncos, Texans, and of course, I'm picking my Philadelphia Eagles to spank Atlanta, Kirk Cousins Atlanta, here at the link, with or without A.J. Brown. Evidently, there's some word coming out that A.J. Brown has a hamstring injury. He's questionable at this time. Yes, it does put a lot more on our offense. I think we have other wide receivers as well. A.J. Brown obviously is our top target. At the same time, we do have Devontae Smith. And as last week we showed, Saquon Barkley can be utilized in so many different ways. He had 3 total touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing, and one of the touchdowns being receiving. Thank you, Giants, for that. Appreciate you. This is also where it's a good thing that play calling is out of Nick Sirianni's hands. Kellen Moore, he has to show what that flexibility, what that offensive mind does when potentially you don't have one of your top targets on the field. We also ran into some issues on the field when it came to our footing. It reminded me so much ago, 2 years ago, when we were in the Super Bowl and sliding all over the place. There's a piece of that. There's also the equipment people that we just need to be having longer spikes. But here at home, we shouldn't have any of those issues, which means the brotherly shove should work out a whole lot better than it did before. And then our overall footing should be better. We left a lot of points on the board last week. Now, that's part of the game. The Packers actually have a good defense, but we had 2 turnovers in the red zone. Those are field goals right there, and the brotherly shove didn't work. On the goal line, that's another potential 4 points, so accounting for potentially another 10 points, let alone the turnovers we had in the first quarter against a really good Green Bay team that smoked the Cowboys, by the way, last year in the playoffs. We only gave up 6 points as opposed to giving up 14. That would have been a real big difference in the game if we started out down 14 as opposed to down 6. So our defense showed up. I know we gave up a total of 29 points, but you have to look at the full scope of the game. I believe our defense played reasonably well and has room to even play better this week against a Falcons team that is initially looked like they're going to be a little bit better, and then they look like crap by what? Against Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh scored 6 field goals and won the game 18-10. So it is what it is. Yes, delaying a little bit because I am not going to enjoy this jalapeno. Bet is a bet. I think the bet this week It's kind of weird, but it's funny. The loser has to go to a bar in their area with a stuffed animal of choice from the winner. So if you have ideas, if a Cowboys fan loses, what kind of stuffed animal they got to show up to a bar and tape a video or something like that, put it on social media, because Texas Stoney's going to be on TikTok. I'm here down on YouTube. Let's figure that part out. But this week, I fully expect the Eagles to win by at least 20 points. I'm looking at more something like a 34-13, some kind of crazy score. And we kind of have more of a relaxing kind of game where we come out, lead early, and then hold that lead with a solid running game. That being said, yes, it is time. I'm going to close out this video with a Go Birds. And you're going to see me eating this jalapeno right now because I lost last week. But I'm coming back with a vengeance, Tony. We're going to go win, not only on the field, but this competition as well. And yes, your Cowboys absolutely destroyed the Browns. They didn't have their tackles. Watson looked like garbage whatsoever. Oh man, that was trash. You guys played consistent ball, but I think in the end, you're going to choke like you do every year. Like I'm doing this jalapeno. Here we go. Go Birds. This is not fun. It's gonna get hot. I'm gonna have to turn this off. Oh, not fun. Right before I die. Go Birds. Ah! I hate this. I hate this. Ah!